Hi folks, Mr. Long here, just with a quick screencast on how to use the full response questions package to get you ready for your AP exams. And I just want to show you how to navigate through it, how to look up solutions, and things like that. So let's get started. Okay, folks, so here we go. So what you'll see here, this is the 2010 to 2020. There's a second document that's 1998 to 2009. And so I've organized them in the best way that I thought I could. And so what you'll see is a title. I changed it over to a letter to represent the section, and then questions are numbered within each section. So it works on the basis of, I guess, what are called hyperlinks. So say you want to go to differential equations that have slope field questions in them. So you click there, and then you click on the title, and then hit bookmark, and that's going to take you to that title. Okay, so we're at differential equations with slope fields. Okay, so and then what you do is you see each question here, or you see the questions here. You're going to see, these ones I haven't numbered yet, but so this part right here represents, I'll just zoom in on that. 2010 is the 2010 test. Form B represents, so there's in up to 2011, I think, they had two sets of tests. They had the regular test and what's called Form B. And they still have two sets of tests, but they don't release the second set. So back then they used to release both sets of tests. AB just means it's calculus AB, and 5 means it's question 5. NC means no calculator allowed. And so say you're done working on one of these and you want to look at the scoring guidelines. So what you can do is click AP scoring guidelines. And let's see, so then I click this, right? And it was 2010. So this brings you to all the past responses, questions and scoring guidelines from 1998, I think, to 2018. So that was 2010 Form B, I think. So 2010. We can go back and take a look at it actually. 2010 Form B, question 5. Okay, so 2010 Form B, and we're going to look at scoring guidelines and question 5. So we go up and we look, question 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, so there it is. Okay, so there's the question right there, and then underneath that is the answers. Okay, the answer key with the marking scheme. All right, so that's something you may want to look at, and that's the approach that I would take if you're going to do that. Now, the other thing that you can look at is I've put a link to Ask Mr. Calculus, and this is a person who has done a lot of teaching of AP Calculus, and I believe that he has solutions going back 2010. So 2010 AP free response, including Form B, and let's see, Form B free response number 5, AB number 5, and you can see that he's got solutions as well. Sometimes his solutions have more details than the AP solutions, sometimes they don't. If you look at the AP solutions and you don't understand it, you may want to try Mr. Calculus and see what his solutions look like. This time it looks like they're basically the same, but usually he has, often he'll have solutions in a little bit more detail. Okay, so so once you work away on a question, and you may want to print out some things like these, although with the slope fields, you know what, you can, on a piece of paper, you can just sketch that and the dots in like 10 seconds and then just use that so you don't have to print things out. Now, so once you're working through some questions, you're probably going to want to go back to the table of contents. That's because it's a 70-page, each of them is about a 70-page document, I think. So you just hit bookmark here, and that's going to take you right back to the start, okay? So now there are some questions that you're going to want to look at only certain parts of questions. So, for example, on rectilinear motion. So depending on what year you're writing the exam, in the year 2020, due to COVID-19, there's not supposed to be any integration related to rectilinear motion. So what I did is for all of the rectilinear motion questions from 2010 to 2019, what I did is I put up above part A, there's no integration. So it says integration required. A is no, B is no, C is no, and D is yes. And and I just did that by looking at the nature of the question. Of course, just to be 100% sure, we probably should look at the scoring guidelines and see. So this is 2011 Form B. And I think it was question number 6, maybe. Um, so let's scroll down to question number 6. I can't. Oh, that's 2011. Let's see. Which question was that supposed to be? Form B, AB6. 2011 Form B, AB6. So, great time to do this. Okay, so there's a mistake on this one, right? So take a look at what I wrote down. 2011 Form B, question 6. Problem. There is no solution, right? Because I don't have the solution because clearly I've got, sorry, clicking around. There's 2011 Form B, question 6. Clearly I've got the wrong question down. So the odd time I do this, when you do, there's probably several hundred questions in here, and you guys know me, I've made some mistakes. So how do you figure out what the solution should be? This is perfect. I wanted to do this anyway. So what you're going to do is Google the first couple of sentences. So just go on to here and then take a look at what it says again. And for this one, it says two particles move along the x-axis. So this is actually interesting. So we'll go to here. Two particles move along the x-axis. Now there's probably a lot of AP questions that start that way. And I'm just I'll hit that to begin with, and then I'm gonna add to it. So for 0 is less than or equal to t is less than or equal to 6. Okay, so for 0 is less than or equal to t is less than or equal to 6, period, AP Calculus, AB, exam, FRQ. And let's see if we come up with the answer. So I don't know. Is this going to be the right one? Okay, folks, so in that Google search, the first thing that came up wasn't the right one. So then I went to the second one and I clicked on it. And sure enough, take a look at this. Two particles move along the x-axis for t is between 0 and 6. And then two particles move along the x-axis, 0 and 6. The position of particle t is 2 cos pi by 4t. Let's see if that's right. 2 cos pi by 4t. It's the correct question. Okay. And what did I do wrong? Well, I think it should have been 2010. So if I go back, this is 2010 scoring guidelines, Form B, question 6. Okay, Form B, question 6. So that's how if you don't see, if you click on the solution set and it doesn't match, again, type in the first sentence or first couple of sentences and then put AP Calculus AB FRQ, and you're going to get a hit on it somewhere. And now you can go and look at the solution sets because you know what the correct one is. And please let me know. Just send me an email if it doesn't work. Okay, so I'm trying to think now. Oh, here's the other thing, as I said I was going to do. I put up here whether or not the question involves integration. So this is a nice way too, if you're doing homework as well, like maybe we haven't done integration yet, and you still need to do questions like this. And what you're going to see here, sometimes the questions, oh, here's another thing that I put into them. Sometimes if there's something extra in the question or something unique, it'll say, like this one here required you to do an integral average value. So sometimes you have to do a related rates question within it. So I tried to put, if there's anything different about the question, I tried to put it in right here. Okay, folks. So again, I'm going to go back to the table of contents. And here we are at the table of contents, and you can see there's all these sections, and please work through them as best you can. There are some of them have many questions. You can see how popular the types of questions are. For example, section C is unbelievably, there's an unbelievable number of questions. So those are almost all calculator active questions. And you'll see somewhere that like it kind of seems to overlap even. For example, graphical analysis with integrals, with function and derivative values, and then graph sketching. So those kind of like graphical analysis, graph sketching, what's different about those? Well, the graphical analysis is more, well, let's take a look. This one here, well, it's because it has function and derivative value. So that's like a table with f prime and f in it and g prime in it, and you have to answer questions. Whereas the graph sketching is more, it's more traditional graph sketching where you get a function and then you have to analyze the function based on the algebraic representation. Okay, folks. So, and then I guess the other one thing is, well, something else to note is, let's take a look at the mean value theorem. So sometimes what I did is I cut sections out. So for example, when you're doing like certain questions, only one part of the question has the mean value theorem. So here, this is 2011 exam test, and it's question 4. So the only thing that you see here is part D, because part D is the mean value theorem. So that way you can practice mean value theorems separately. And so there's several questions there that allow you to practice the mean value theorem. And it's probably true that of the other parts of the question appear in another section. Okay, folks, so that's not done a whole lot, but I did want to do it separate for the mean value theorem. And there are some harder sections as well, but anyway, so that is it, folks. Please let me know if you have any questions. I just wanted to give you a bit of a tour in terms of how you go through this, and hopefully you have good luck working through these documents to help you get ready for your exam. Have a great day.